The Carolina Panthers are standing at a dangerous crossroads right now, and one wrong move could destroy the momentum we have built from last season. We are hearing whispers about a massive trade up in the first round of the draft that might cost us far more than it is worth. If we give away our precious draft capital for the wrong player, we are looking at a wasted year. The risk is real because losing those high picks means losing the depth we desperately need to compete. This choice will define if we take the next step or fall back. Dylan Theinman is the name on everybody's lips right now, but it might be for all the wrong reasons if we are not careful. There are reports coming out from experts like Josh Edwards suggesting that the Panthers might actually trade up with the Baltimore Ravens just to secure this young safety. He has been rising up the draft boards very quickly because of his incredible athletic testing. But we have seen this story before where a player shoots up the rankings after a good workout and then fails to live up to the hype on the professional field. Dylan Theinman was originally seen as a second-round talent, but now people are talking about him going in the top half of the first round. That is a massive jump in value that should make any smart front office very nervous. Our team executive Brant Tylis is known for being cautious with these types of late risers because they often come with more risk than reward. If we decide to trade up from our 19th pick to the 14th spot just to grab him, we are essentially betting the future of our secondary on a single prospect. The problem is that many other talented players will still be there at 19, so why would we spend extra picks to move up 5 spots? It feels like we would be getting out over our skis and making a desperate move when we should be staying patient. We finished last season with an 8-9 record, which means we are not one player away from a Super Bowl yet. We still need more talent across the board, and giving away picks to move up for a safety feels like a gamble that could easily backfire on us. Experts are divided on this because while the talent is obvious, the cost of the trade is simply too high for a team that is still building its core. We have to look at the big picture and realize that reaching for a player because of a fast rise is how teams stay in the bottom of the division for years. Dylan Theinman might be great, but is he worth 2 or 3 picks? Probably not when you look at the other options available to us in that same range of the draft board. Ruben Bain Jr. is exactly the kind of player that would actually justify a major move if the team was truly looking to upgrade the roster with elite talent. When you look at what this young defender brings to the table, you see a completely different level of impact compared to a standard safety prospect. This young player has the size and the strength to dominate the line of scrimmage and change how an opposing offense has to plan for us. If we are going to talk about trading up, it should only be for a game changer like him or someone of that elite caliber. He has shown time and time again that he can disrupt plays and make the quarterback uncomfortable from the very first snap of the game. This young star fits our defensive scheme perfectly because he provides that aggressive edge we have been missing in key moments. When you watch his film, you see a player who never takes a play off and always finds a way to be around the football when it matters most. He is the type of foundational piece that you build a championship defense around for the next decade. Instead of chasing a safety who might be available later, we should be looking at whether a move for this young defender makes more sense for our long-term success. He brings a level of physical play that would immediately make our defense more feared across the league. This young star has the potential to be a perennial All-Pro, and that is the only reason you should ever consider giving up multiple draft picks. We need to be smart about who we target because not every high-ranked prospect is created equal in terms of their actual value to our team. While everyone is talking about the secondary, we cannot forget that winning starts up front, and this young defender is a beast in the trenches. He would provide the kind of pass rush and run support that helps everyone else on the defense look better. If we are going to be aggressive, let us be aggressive for a player who has proven he can handle the heavy lifting. This young star is the real deal, and he represents the kind of blue-chip talent that can actually turn a middle-of-the-pack defense into a top-5 unit. We have to decide if we want to gamble on a riser or invest in a proven force like him. This decision really comes down to whether we want to win more games right now or if we are going to throw away our future on a risky bet. If we stay at 19 or even trade back, we can add more players who will help us win immediately. It is much better to have 3 good players than 1 player who might not even be better than the guys we could have had for free. If we trade up and this pick does not work out, we will be stuck with a thin roster and no way to fix it through the draft next year. This could help them win more games if they just stay patient and let the talent fall to them naturally. We need to fill multiple holes on this team, and using all our capital on one guy is a recipe for disaster. The direct consequence of a bad trade is that we stay at 8-9 or get even worse because we have no depth. We have seen other teams make this mistake where they fall in love with one prospect and ignore the rest of the board. We cannot afford to be that team this year because our fans deserve a winner after so many tough seasons. If we keep our picks, we can get a great pass catcher and a solid defender, which helps the whole team improve at once. But if we move up, we are putting all our eggs in one basket, and that basket might have a hole in it. The risk of failure is way too high when there are so many good players like Keldrick Falk or Blake Miller who could be there at 19. We should be focused on building a complete team rather than hunting for a superstar that might not even be there. Every single pick we have is a chance to find a starter, and we cannot give those chances away for nothing. Winning in this league is about having a deep roster that can survive injuries and long seasons. If we have no picks left, we will be in big trouble when the season gets tough in November and December. Staying put is the safe move that leads to a better team in the long run. We have to be smart and avoid the temptation of the big trade because it rarely works out for the team moving up. Let us keep our assets and build the right way. Let us look at the best case scenario where we stay put and the board falls perfectly in our favor. If this works, we end up with a high-quality starter at 19, and we still have all our other picks to improve the offensive line or the secondary later. In that world, we become a playoff team because we added 3 or 4 contributors who can actually play right away. But if it fails and we trade up for a player who busts, we are going to be in a world of pain. Imagine giving up our second-round pick to move up for a guy who ends up sitting on the bench. That would be a total disaster for our franchise, and it would set us back at least 2 or 3 years. The tension is high because the front office is feeling the pressure to make a splashy move to excite the fan base. That is farfetto. I know surprise. The tension is high because the front office is feeling the pressure to make a splashy move to excite the fan base. But a splashy move is not always a smart move, and we have to remember that. If we are patient, we might even be able to trade back and get even more picks while still getting a player we love. That is the dream scenario where we turn 1 pick into 2 and still get a starter. However, the worst case scenario is that we stay at 19 and all the players we want are gone and we panic. That is why having a deep board is so important for a team in our position. We have to be prepared for anything, but we cannot let fear drive our decision-making process. If we act out of fear, we will make a mistake that haunts us for a long time. Short sentences increase the tension because every pick matters. Every player counts. Every move is vital. We are watching the clock and waiting to see if our leadership has the guts to stay disciplined. If they stay disciplined, we win. If they get greedy and trade up for a risky riser, we might lose everything. The difference between success and failure is often just a few picks in the first round. We need to make sure we are on the right side of that line when the draft finally starts. The tension is building and the fans are waiting to see what happens next. It is a high-stakes game of poker, and we cannot afford to blink first. To wrap this all up, the situation is very simple for our Carolina Panthers. We have a solid pick at 19 and plenty of talent available without needing to move an inch. Trading up for a rising safety like Dylan Thielman feels like a massive risk that we just do not need to take right now. We are a team that needs more bodies and more talent, not fewer picks and more pressure on one rookie. The smart move is to stay where we are or even move back to collect more assets for the future. We have to be honest with ourselves and realize we are still a few pieces away from being a true contender in the NFC. Giving up draft capital now would be like trying to run before we can even walk. I want to know what you think about this potential move. Be honest with me right now because I really value your opinion. Would you trust a rookie safety enough to trade away our future picks just to get him? Or do you think we should stay put and take the best player available when it is our turn? This is a huge moment for our team and your voice matters in this conversation. If you love the Panthers and want to stay updated on every single move we make, then you need to hit that subscribe button right now. We are covering every rumor and every report to keep you informed. Make sure you like this video and turn on those notifications so you never miss an update from your favorite team. We are in this together as fans, and we want to see this team succeed the right way. Let us stay patient and hope the front office makes the right choice for our future. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.